It seems like people are still talking about the CM Punk and Jungle Jack Perry situation, and I've heard many crazy things. Some of them are unbelievable, but it looks like a lot of the stuff that is being said, mostly everyone, all the dirt sheets, everything that I'm reading online, everyone seems to be pointing the finger at CM Punk. And I covered this a little bit last week, but not too much. But because of all the crazy shit that I've been hearing, I was forced to cover it again. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about what I think about this. I figured since everyone else is throwing their 2 cents around about the situation, I would like to give my 2 cents about this. And this is what I think about this whole situation. So let's start this from the beginning, okay? Bear with me here. Take this trip with me, all right? So it started off a few weeks ago when Jungle Jack Perry was on Collision and he wanted to do a spot that involved some real glass, correct? Everyone, we all know that's how this started. And apparently, it got cleared by someone higher up in AEW. They said, yes, Jungle Boy, you can do this. Somehow CM Punk got a wind of this, and either CM Punk took it upon himself to go talk Jack Perry out of using real glass, or someone in AEW told CM Punk, go talk to Jungle Jack Perry. He wants to do this, and go talk him out of it. Either way, I don't think it really makes a difference. Long story short, Jack Perry didn't end up doing the spot with the real glass on Collision. I don't know if it was Punk's decision or if Punk talked Jungle Jack Perry out of it. It was reported briefly. Some of the dirt sheets made a few comments about it, but it wasn't a big deal. It was done, it was over with, and everyone moved on with their lives. Fast forward to All In. Jungle Jack Perry does a spot during his match during the 0 hour versus Hook that involved real glass. Jungle Boy looks at the camera and knocks on the glass and says, look, real glass, cry me a river. Of course, everyone immediately knew that was a shot at CM Punk. After the Jungle Boy match, after CM Punk and Samoa Joe had their match, there was the now famous altercation that happened backstage between CM Punk and Jungle Boy. And we've all heard about it, right? Everyone and their mom is talking about this, right? There's reports saying that Jungle Boy stepped up to CM Punk. There's reports saying that CM Punk went up to Jungle Boy, asked him if he had a problem. Someone either got put in a headlock, someone either got choked out, whatever the case might be. There was a altercation that took down backstage between these two. Could this have been avoided? Yes, it could have been avoided in many different ways. The first way, since the very first time that these two had a disagreement, that should have been the time and the place to nip this in the butt. From that very first incident that happened in Collision, it needed to be addressed. It needed to be stopped, and it didn't. It seems to be a lack of communication backstage between who is in charge. Did this spot get cleared or not? Is Jungle Boy allowed to do this or not? This shouldn't even be an issue. If CM Punk really is the person that has the last say in Collision, if CM Punk says, I don't want you doing that on this show, then guess what? If he's the one that makes the decision, then it's not happening. If it's Tony Khan that makes the final decision, and if Tony Khan clears it, then CM Punk needs to mind his business. But somehow, this was still an issue. So that was one way that it could have been avoided from the beginning. The second way, why did Jungle Jack have to go on camera and take shots at CM Punk? No one was even talking about this altercation that happened at Collision anymore. It was done with. It was over with. We had enough drama going on already with the sad news of Terry Funk passing, Bray Wyatt passing. We were about to have the biggest wrestling show ever in All In. No one was talking about the glass spot or the disagreement that Jungle Boy and CM Punk had at Collision. Nobody. Why did Jungle Boy have to go back and reignite this feud or this argument that happened backstage at Collision when no one else was talking about it? Did Jungle Boy do it to get attention? Who knows? But Jungle Boy, he goes to business for himself, but people refuse to look at that. There's two sides to every story, and everything seems to be pointing back at CM Punk because of his history with backstage drama last year. The thing that happened happened with the Elite this time last year exactly, and now it's happening again with Jungle Boy, so it's easy to point the finger at CM Punk. It's really easy to blame someone for all of this, and CM Punk right now, he's the easy target. However, most people seem to be ignoring the big picture. The bigger problem here is that there is no control in AEW. Tony Khan sends his guys out there to have these matches, and he has no idea what they're going to do once they're out there. It's a free-for-all out there. Tony Khan might determine the winners of the match, maybe the finish, but other than that, it seems like these guys just go out there on national TV and they say whatever they want, whenever they want, and they do whatever they want with no repercussions. Like, this type of shit would never happen in WWE. WWE, it is too scripted, but at least everyone there knows what they're supposed to do, and no one goes into business for themselves like this. Because if they did, guess what? They would probably get fired. And yes, I understand that one of the good things about AEW, one of the great things about AEW that a lot of the talent and a lot of the fans love is that there's a lot more freedom in AEW. There's a lot more creative freedom out there. You're not really forced to do stuff that you don't want to. You're not scripted. But also, that's starting to be a problem here. It's causing drama backstage, and the people are talking about the backstage drama more than the actual shows now because of this. What Jungle Boy did is went to business for himself to attract attention to himself for some reason and made a situation that wasn't really a big deal and tried to turn it into a big deal. Now, the other thing too, this probably would have never happened if there wasn't so many hardcore matches in All In at the Wembley anyway. I mean, we had a hardcore match, Jungle Boy and Hook. We had the Stadium Stampede. We had the Coffin match. And we also had the House of Black that was also announced for the wild card that it was going to be no holds bar. That's 4 hardcore matches in one night. I'm probably forgetting one more. I can't think of another one right now, but you don't need to have 4 hardcore matches in one night. So for the people that are saying that CM Punk is the problem, that CM Punk needs to get fired, I say that you guys are ignoring the bigger problem and that the people running this company are the real problem, and the talent that are going to business for themselves on air live are also the problem. Could CM Punk have avoided this? Yes. I'm not completely defending CM Punk. CM Punk might have some blame in all this, but he is not completely responsible for all this shit that's happening backstage. So for the people that think that by firing CM Punk, who's also one of the biggest stars, and also CM Punk got suspended and he's not going to be at All Out, which by the way is in Chicago, his hometown, the biggest star that can draw the most money and the most people at a pay-per-view in Chicago is suspended because of all of this now. So please, people, believe me when I say, if you fire CM Punk, this shit is going to keep happening in AEW regardless, because there's no control in that company. Wrestlers or talents or whatever you want to call them go to business for themselves on live TV, and everyone can just run around and do whatever the fuck they want. This has happened with Sammy Guevara and Andrade. This has happened with Eddie Kingston. This has happened with multiple people, not just CM Punk. Whew. I just had to get that off my chest because, man, all the dirt sheets and everyone talking about this is just ridiculous. Like, Miro somehow got dragged into this. People are saying that CM Punk was trying to fight Miro. Other people are saying that they were joking, and AEW is a hot fucking mess right now. I don't know what's gonna happen. The only thing I do know is that CM Punk and Jungle Boy are both suspended and they're not gonna be at All Out, which is unfortunate for the fans in Chicago that they're not gonna see their hometown hero CM Punk. But enough about that. Let's get into this AEW show.